I'm trying to go live on my new little cell phone. Um, I need to talk to y'all. And just forgive me for moving and shaking because I'm really not used to this. It's on this phone, holding it in my hands. But it's a lot of stuff going on. Should not be anything that we have not already talked about over the last, 4 or 5 years. And um, part of it is a word of caution because we are having to learn how to play 3D chess with opposition that has studied us for hundreds of years, thousands of years. And so they know our behavior, they know we are emotional, they know we are not evil like they are. They know we don't conjure up the stuff that they conjure up. And so it is very important that you pay attention to what is going on in the world, but also to not be so reactive. One of the things that we must learn how to do is not address everything that they talk about, and we must learn how to be quiet. Those are two things we are terrible at. Even if we think we are informing our people about some things that really are important, we should be cautious about the way that we share our information because a lot of the times we are being propagandized and we are being led into traps. And with the algorithms and social media, the hidden hands are monitoring what we say, what we do, how we react. They are interested in our plans, what we're planning to do, and we have to really be proactive right now. We need to be quiet and proactive. So anyway, I want to talk about a couple of things. First, I want to talk about the SNAP benefits. It's very unfortunate that this government, this administration, decided to cut SNAP benefits for millions of people in the country at a time when inflation is at an all-time high for us, our generation. Um, Utilities are expensive, rent is expensive, everything is just overpriced. We are underpaid, and there is no end in sight. So, what we need to do is what I've been telling y'all to do for the last 4 years. If you've been watching me, I have been telling you to prepare, to grow your own food, to buy things and put back. Even if you think it is futile, time will come when you will need the things that you have put back. And now we're seeing that we're heading into that time. And I'm very grateful that I have put things back. But I'm surrounded by a lot of people who still do not believe and who still thinks that the government is going to save them. And I'm gonna tell y'all this story, and I'm gonna keep telling it. When I moved to Florida and I started getting into hurricane preparedness, at the time I think Rick Scott was the governor. It was like 2012. And if you know anything about Rick Scott, he is in Congress now, representing Florida. But as governor, he's rich. He's a billionaire living in, on the West Coast in a town that's very wealthy. And he would tell the people of Florida that we need to be prepared for at least 2 weeks for nobody to come and get you, for nobody to come save you if there was a devastating hurricane. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, 2 weeks, that's terrible. But then I started seeing all the complications and all the things that, would arise when people didn't leave, when a storm came through, how trees would fall, you wouldn't have power for days, the water would rise. You just had all types of scenarios. And if you were not prepared, you know you would look crazy. A lot of people in Florida are not from Florida, so you don't really know your neighbors. You wouldn't have a support system, and if you were like me, I was the only little brownie living, most times in my neighborhood. You don't know who you trust in so on and so forth. So we had to be prepared. This is the time that we're living in now. And it's not just about the SNAP benefits. I honestly believe the SNAP benefits are a distraction to cover up for other things. This economy is getting ready to collapse. Um, you can see it. They're getting ready to do another rate cut. Feds are getting ready to do another rate cut. Uh, I think they announced it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they did it. You see what's going on in Venezuela. We're giving out money like there's no tomorrow. We gave Argentina, millions of dollars. We're still funding Ukraine. We're still funding Israel. We're gearing up to, um, you know, apparently have civil war, civil unrest in America, where the National Guard has been dispatched into a lot of major cities where Black people are. And my honest opinion is that this staging is part of this decline, or this, at the stage we're at when it comes to the stages of empires falling. We're like at stage 5. There are only 2 more stages, and once you get to stage 5, it can just go in like in a matter of, you know, any time. So I was gonna say minutes, but then not that fast. It could go in minutes, but I don't think so. In a matter of months to years, and so we need to be prepared. I have been really working on, and that's why I really have not been doing a whole lot of videos, because one, I just don't see the need to tell people everything you're doing and show everybody, because like these are not our interwebs, and we are entertaining our adversary. Two, if you are doing videos, like I don't make money off my videos, so and I'm not going to monetize my channel. I think my content is, decent, and I'm not gonna waste people's time. I just don't hop on when I got something to say, and I don't tell y'all everything. I don't regurgitate everything that's in the news, because I have come to realize that a lot of this stuff is propaganda. They want your energy. They want your fear. They want your stress. They want to read your mind and see what is on your mind, or what is on our minds, collectively, because they know who we are. The time is up. This empire is declining, and everybody is concerned about what Black people are going to do. Now, these people who are online talking about they going in these people's stores and stealing, I think that is the dumbest thing ever. But I know we have a lot of ignorant people, not just our people, ignorant people, period, who think social media is a game, and they don't realize who created this stuff. So, they are out here, broadcasting what they're going to do when they don't have something. Who does that? Who says I'm gonna go out and commit crimes because I don't have money? I'ma steal food. I'm gonna go in the store and do this, and y'all better not stop me. Don't folks know this is what they want us to do? We don't even know if the people who created the original videos are ops, and they are put out there just for us, because no other group is talking about, a lot of different people receive, nations of people receive snap bits, but nobody is being honed in on, except for who. And didn't I tell y'all a couple of years ago they were going to make African American Black people the face of the fall and decline of America? And here we are. Y'all better learn how to listen to me. I be trying to tell you what's going on, but folks can't see it till they can see it. Um, it's nothing good coming from this. Nothing at all. I pray that our people wisen up and don't fall for the okey doke, because it is it's a trap. Basically, they need civil unrest, and we're going to be the whipping boards um, to accomplish that. So, do not get riled up about whatever they're doing to the White House. Ain't our house anyway. ain't our house. Why we care? They tear up everything we get anyway. Let them tear up their own stuff. This is not our battle. What we need to be doing is really trying to figure out how we're going to survive. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was uh yeah, we that's right. Mufasa, we have nothing to do with nothing. And they still find a way to keep making it about us. True. And it's just like, what on earth? Um, how did we get dragged into this? Charlie Kirk died, and the whole memorial service is about coming for us, like, in coded language. We don't have anything to do with nothing. We are like literally trying to just sit back and stay out of the way, and here, people are blaming us. So, we really have to be strategic with our energy, with our time, and we cannot afford to play around with this system. It is collapsing all around us. Um, we talked a couple of years ago about the farmers losing their crops when they were destroying all the chickens and all the cows. All these things were happening, which is why chicken and beef are so expensive now. Now you look at the farmers are complaining about they don't have people to help them pick their things in the field, and they thought we were gonna help them, but we not. And so you're gonna find that there are gonna be fewer items in the grocery stores come the next couple of months. Um, Farmers are losing their farms, but one thing about history, and I go back to the Reconstruction era during slavery, anytime white men had losses, this nation repaired them. They received reparations. We didn't receive reparations, but they received reparations. So I would not be concerned at all or laugh or entertain anything about any group outside of African Americans and their losses, because this government has demonstrated it will compensate other groups for their losses, just not us. So what we have to do is we have to prepare for losses, because that is the end game. The end game is for us to have zero wealth by 2028. They already wrote about it. And so they're starting, well, the war already started. The war started with the propaganda. The war started with our health. The war started with the genetically modified food and the cloud seeding and the demolishing of the early childhood and K through 12 education systems, making college a scam so that you go and get into debt and you're basically a debt slave. You have to work forever to pay for your rented life. And so once you wake up and just see what this country is all about and what this economic system is all about, you should try to remove yourself from it as much as possible. So one of the things I want to try to advise people who happen to come across this video is to try to get out of debt. Even if you have to let some stuff go, you may love your car, but if your car payment is such that you're not going to be able to afford your rent and your utility bill, those are two things that you must have. You need shelter and you need someplace to stay warm, stay out of elements. Then you might want to consider downsizing, getting a car that's paid for, figuring out something else, another, carpool, and get rid of those expenses. You get rid of car payment, car insurance, car taxes. That can take a lot of stress off of you. As far as trying to find someplace cheaper to live, if that's even a thing, if it's even possible, that's something else that you may want to consider doing, because again, we're gonna have to try to find someplace to stay as best we can. Some people may have to take in roommates to survive. This is a time where all the things that you said you would never do and you never consider, we may have to consider a whole lot of stuff that we never considered to survive. So, I just want to put that out there. Um, Growing your own foods, container gardening, buying seeds. Like I was watching Lead Farmer uh, 73 the other day, and he said basically you need to have a suitcase full of seeds. Even if you ain't growing nothing now, you should have seeds just to barter with. You need to have seeds to start your winter garden. You should be having seeds so you can start a spring garden. Work with other people. We don't know what is going to happen, but what we do know is something is coming. We don't know if it's natural disasters because there are a lot of natural disasters coming. We don't know if it's getting ready to be an alien invasion, quote, alien invasion. I don't know. November is supposed to be very interesting, but between Halloween and New Year's Eve, the 5th of January, anything can happen because these are the high wicked days for the folks who practice the occult. I won't call out anybody's names or any group's names, but we need to be aware that as we come to October 31st on forward to the beginning of next year, all hell could break loose because this is what these folks do. They pray to their gods. They open up portals. They do all kinds of stuff because they're trying to accomplish their goal and be anti Messiah, anti the Most High. I know, some people may not believe in that, but I do on this channel. I know that we are fighting principalities, so that is the mindset that we need to have. That it is not just physical anymore; it is actually spiritual. Um, I talked about downsizing your friend pool and family circles. If you have been warning people and people have been ignoring you, and you've been preparing, this is the time to become gray man and withdraw. Withdraw from people. Start, thinning out your pool of people you can work with. The people haven't been working with you. They haven't been trying to grow food. They haven't been trying to prepare, put stuff back. You don't need anybody who's going to be a burden to you when they don't have, especially when we all been seeing the signs and people just been having a good time scrolling on social media, not really paying attention to, what's going on. Um, it's not fair. It's going to be a cruel world, but it's going to be reality. Um, you think about the five wise bridesmaids and the five foolish. The foolish ones are going to be trying to take from the wise, and the wise going to be like, I can't give you mine because if I give you mine, then I won't have anything. I won't be ready when my ride comes, when the groom comes to get me. We have to be wise right now. We have to be quiet right now. This is not a time to be arrogant and bragging about what you've done because a lot of people are going to be angry. That's just natural human nature. So one thing you want to do is you do not want to make enemies. You do not want to provoke anyone to wrath. You do not want to bring trouble onto your own house. And you should have that conversation with anybody who lives with you who is also going to benefit from your preparation. Um, as far as food items, a lot of states just don't have money for food. And so if you talk about, um, we're thinking about things. Hey, P. Wells, how are you? If you're talking about or just thinking about things that you can get to survive, like those are the things that we need to be doing. And I'm old school. I messaged my son today. He lives in Charlotte. I was like, hey son, they're not gonna be issuing SNAP as of November the 1st, and a lot of people receive benefits all throughout the month from the 1st to I think like the 20th or 22nd, something like that, depending on the state. So I was like, if you can go get you some things and put in your house, grits, rice, seasonings, uh, cooking oil, different things like that that you can, you know, have to eat just in case the stores shut down or they decide they don't want us in the stores. He said he got some frozen vegetables and He's like, I got some bologna and hot dogs and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, but yeah, I don't eat pork, but he does. Um, but we were just going over things that you could buy that are really not that expensive, to carry you, and you can do it. You can last a couple of weeks off of some, a couple of bags of rice, some beans, grits, dehydrated milk. If you got little kids, you might want to get some boxes of cereal, peanut butter and jelly, some bread. It's a lot of stuff that you can do. You just have to go through the grocery store aisles and look to see, what can I buy that can hold me, for a couple of weeks. And we don't know if the SNAP benefits are going, not go out in December or January. I would not be surprised by this administration because the goal is to try to get people as angry as possible in order to get them in the streets or to get them to become violent, especially in major cities. So don't follow up with that propaganda. Make sure you are preparing. Make sure you are talking to people who are wise, who can give you some advice on what you can do, how to feed your family. If you need to go to food banks, go to food banks. Do not be afraid or ashamed to get help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. A neighbor may, give you something. I live in a rural place, so pretty much everybody knows everybody. We may help, each other, but we are also, I'm not from here, so I'm kind of isolated too, and I'm not close to my family. But I don't really, deal with my family because I've been trying to warn them for years about what's coming, and everybody just kind of they think I'm crazy. So I just mind my business after I try to tell you, or warn you, doing what the Most High told us to do, warn each other, admonish each other, and folks are not ready. So I just work. I work here. Like it's raining. It's been raining for the last couple of days. My chicken coop is wet. The floor is wet. So I had to go buy hay today. Not hay, straw. Had to go buy straw, dry straw. Put the straw down on the ground so that the chickens can have, um, something to walk on. Uh, I'm glad I got chickens early. I was forced into it because if I didn't, I wouldn't, be close to the point where my chickens are ready to start laying eggs. All the chickens that I got for processing, all with the exception of four, have died because it was a crossbreed of chicken. It's the worst chickens I've ever purchased, and I don't know if I'm gonna ever try to buy them again. They grow really fast, but they are not, good chickens in my opinion. So, I have been learning. I have been working, learning, feeding, my chickens, watching them, learning, their personalities, just how to care for them because they are, I won't say like dogs, but they require maintenance. So it's something else that I have to tend to. And then trying to transition my garden from fall to from spring, summer to winter, and trying to do something different. I did containers all around the house because I was having issues with the soil. So, if you think you're just gonna hop up and grow stuff, it is not that easy. It's not that easy. I've had to deal with the government being shut down, so I haven't had any work. Thankfully, I was a little better prepared this time, but like federal workers, I'm still owed money, so I'm only limited. I'm limited to what I can do right now, but I'm in a better position than I was last year, when all this stuff started happening, and it went into the wintertime, when January, February into March. Same thing is gonna happen. And I told y'all the last quarter of 2025 was gonna be wild, and here we are. So once we hit this, we are in stage 5 of our declining empire, and that is the social decline. once you start seeing these divisions that are being promoted, a match can be struck at any time, and things could just blow. So, what you need to do is just pray about everything. Pray about what you read. Pray about who you follow. Like I said, the last time I did a video, I had to pull back from a lot of the people that I follow because they are, a lot of these channels are monetized. So they need the sensational headlines. Even our Israelite brothers and sisters, they will push videos all day long about mainstream media headlines, getting you all concerned. And yeah, they may come from a different angle. But what we need to realize is when we put our energy to those things, it feeds the beast. It feeds Hasatan. It feeds the adversary. They get to monitor what we think. They get to monitor our eye behavior. They monitor how long we stay on a topic. They monitor how we respond in the comment section. We are being monitored. And this is a part of this B system that is coming up. So we just need to be mindful. These people are playing 3D chess with us, and we just ain't ready. We're not ready. We're not ready. Um, it's one of the reasons why I'm very quiet right now. I don't really have much to say because I'm just observing. Not only that, the time for us to get off of social media is coming. It's about here. And we need to get to the point where we are comfortable throwing our devices away, having just a regular flip phone or house phone. We need to be comfortable with not, using only one social media platform. I have several, but I don't use them, and I'm ready to delete them because at the end of the day, I see what all this stuff is. That these are tools. This stuff is warfare. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Ring doorbell, your cell phone, uh, um, the digital televisions, digital everything. Everything has led us to where we're going. And so I want to tell y'all a story, two stories. I've helped two people over the last week and a half try to do something with benefits, and everything was online. And the people are not tech savvy, and they were struggling. The first person is my 63-year-old friend. She's a female, got a high school education, worked in manufacturing, not computer savvy at all, does not own a computer, tries to do everything from cell phone. And something was going on with her Medicare or Medicaid, and she was unable to get the paper signed. Whoever the representative was sent her some stuff to her email address. And on her phone, she did not have Adobe Acrobat, so she couldn't sign the documents. She didn't know how to do it. Mind you, she has children that are younger than me that live. One of them lives with her, and the other one does not. But they could not help her. Without doing this, she would not be able, signing this form, she couldn't get whatever benefit she was entitled to, and she wouldn't be able to get her Medicaid. So I had to do all this stuff on her cell phone. Go, find the document, read her documents. The shutdown has made it so where you can't go to the Social Security office and get help. You can't go to the social service office. Well, you can go to your state social service office, but anything that's federal, this is tied to her Social Security and disability because she's a cancer patient and cancer survivor. She couldn't do this stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, she's 63. Who's helping all these older people with this stuff? Because I don't receive any of those benefits, and you know, um, I want to say she had to do something with they were trying to encourage her to do something with a biometric signature. And I just was like, no, don't do that. You don't need to do that. Just sign it this way. If you have to go to the library and print it out, let's do that. But, I wasn't trying to get her into this whole digital ID thing because that's not what you do to people that you love, especially Israelites. So, we are brothers and sisters, so we're supposed to look out for each other. So, after I helped her do that, and I was thinking to myself, how are people going to navigate this new system when everything is digital? Because they're closing down these offices and forcing people to do business this way intentionally. This is just like they did during COVID. It's more than just cutting off benefits. It is forcing people to go online and check. It's forcing people to go use these websites. It's forcing you to go and get information from these platforms that they have set up so that they can get more information from you, because now everything is connected. Your phone, once your phone or your computer logs into these centralized identification platforms, it's a wrap. It's just one step closer to the MOTB. If you know what MOTB is, let's just say the mark. Now, the other scenario was I had a friend who was trying to apply for unemployment. His job shut down for like 2 weeks, just kind of unexpectedly, because work was slow or something was going on. And so the employer applied for unemployment benefits. Well, he was trying to do everything from his phone and he didn't understand some stuff. So, of course, he comes to me and I help him, get everything done. But it was just like a whole bunch of questions he needed to answer, and he was frustrated about that. But then the part came to where he was disqualified because he did not complete the digital identification piece. So, in order for him to get unemployment, he needed to do a digital identification, and I couldn't do it from my computer because what they wanted was a copy of his driver's license, front and back, and then a picture, like a biometric picture. And then they wanted his social security number because they allegedly were going to cross reference this information with the Social Security Office, IRS, the DMV, and the credit bureaus in order to verify who he was. It wasn't to verify who he was, it was permission to link all this shit together because this is a part of this digital ID. And so, in order for him to get this government benefit through the South Carolina Employment Security Commission, the unemployment benefit, unemployment insurance, you got to do your digital identification. And you got to do it either through the website or go to the post office and do it on a computer and let the people at the post office verify your address and whatever else, whatever that method was. We didn't choose that method. But, he just happily did it for $300 a week. And so when I tell you people are going to take the mark of the beast and not think anything about it, they are. When I tell you people are not ready for the digital enslavement that is coming, they are not. You can't even tell people. When I try to tell people why they shouldn't do XYZ, because of its connection to this digital enslavement, they just laugh. They think it's not serious. They don't think it's close. We are so close. We are so close. My son's friend works for Bank of America, and he basically was telling us that they are phasing out the penny, and they're going to phase out another denomination of money. I don't know if it's the nickel or dime or something. And those are some of the things that they start doing right before they collapse the economy and switch over to a new currency. And then he said that they were going to, I don't know if they were going to get rid of the dollar bill or something. But they're getting ready to switch over to digital currency. Basically, everything is getting ready to be tokenized really soon. So he's young. When I say young, he's like in his early 30s. So he's not connecting. He's not where we are. And so we were having a conversation. We were explaining it to him, and once we explained it to him, he understood. But there are a lot of people in a lot of positions who do not understand what is coming. There are a lot of people who want and rely on government benefits who do not understand what is coming and how, every time you use a government system, every time you access something, that the government wants you to connect to their system in order to get whatever it is that you need. I had a situation where I was having charges on my debit card and I had to get a new debit card. So I was trying to figure out how to withdraw money from the bank because I had just gotten a large deposit from one of the jobs that I had done months ago. But I'm trying not to let none of my money sit in the bank because I need to spend my money. I don't need nobody to steal it. So I was trying to figure out how to get my money out of the bank. And I did, but I had to pay some money to do it. And the reason that I had to, because one of the other options was I needed to do a biometric update, take a picture of my face or something, and then I could withdraw a whole bunch of money per week. But if I didn't do that, then I was only limited to $250 per week. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna figure out another way. So I ended up Western unioning myself, my money, and I had to do it in smaller denominations, but it was how I was able to get my money. And I had to pay to get my own money, but I did it because I refused to do the biometric piece. But as we get deeper and deeper into this digitalization, this Internet of Things, Web 3.0, they're going to try their best to get us to buy into this digital ID, into these digital wallets, or to access certain benefits, or to get your money, or whatever. It's coming. So we need to be prepared for it. This is the time. Everybody's gonna have to make a decision. I can't make a decision for you. You're gonna have to figure out how you're going to get out of or stay out of the system, and what are you going to do when all of um, these things come together and then they start saying, oh, you said this online, well, you can't get online, you said this, so you can't eat meat, you did this, you can't, we're going to take some money out your check. um, Things are getting ready to get real. They're getting ready to connect all of this stuff. And then your kids are going to have to do digital IDs to use the internet. Y'all know how crazy these kids are about their devices. So that's just something else that parents are going to be stressing about. And because these technologies are babysitters now, people are going to go ahead and freely do the digital ID thing, get the digital wallet, and use access these services. It is going to be devastating watching people try to navigate this stuff and just cave in. Um, this stuff with these SNAP benefits, it is just a picture of what is to come. It really is getting ready to be Hunger Games out here. So y'all better have y'all power tools. You better be ready to hunt, fish. You should be ready for to fight even your own people, because people are gonna be coming trying to take from you. If so, you gotta learn how to be a great person and blend in. But things are getting ready to really shift in a negative way. And I would say, we're in the last quarter of 2025. We only got 2 more months, and I told y'all it's going to get bad. The beginning of next year, it's going to be worse. I don't know what's coming with this 3IA Atlas thing. I don't know what it is. If it's a meteor, if it's going to be an alien, I don't know. But we need to be ready for that spiritually. We need to be ready because um, we just don't know what they have planned. We do know to some extent, but like what we'll hear, is it going to be tied to technology? Will it be tied to the internet of things? Is it going to be something that's come through our phones, scaring the hell out of us? We need to be ready. Look at this weather. I don't know if you have heard any rumors about this storm in that's hitting Jamaica. You know, where Category 5 coming from this time of the year? That don't even make no sense. And why there? And Jamaica is like Maui. Jamaica is like the first in the Western Hemisphere to promote digital ID to their people and who are receiving government benefits. So you have to go back and look at the Great Reset agenda, look at who's on board, look at these different regions. And I told y'all, we talked about this, how they were using black nations as the testing grounds for this before they try to implement it in Western nations. Remember the Deagle report. The Deagle report talked about in 2025 there's going to be a huge reduction in population. Here we are at the end of 2025, and they're getting ready to get to end SNAP benefits. Next, it's going to be Medicaid, Medicare, and then Social Security. A lot of old people are going to be getting put out of nursing homes. A lot of people are going to be hungry. A lot of kids are going to pass away. Um, a lot of kids are not going to have lunch at school. They may not have food when they go home. Food banks are, drying up. They don't have resources, and the government has canceled shipments of food to them. So if we don't help each other, and we're not going to be able to help everybody, there's going to be a lot of death. A lot of death. There's going to be a lot of anger. There's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of people in the streets, a lot of people taking stuff. And y'all know how them folks feel like they got to police everybody and they care more about property than you. So ain't no need to think you finna go in the store and loot and do all this stuff because they don't care nothing about none of the stuff that's happening, and you got to feed yourself. They care about law and order. That's all you hear about, law and order. Law and order is code for slave patrol. They're going to other groups first, but they're going to end with us. And as you can see, just like I told y'all, they're doing us just like they did during the end of the second Reconstruction era. Go back and read what happened during the end of the Reconstruction era. How they came in and removed everybody from their positions, stripped away wealth, ran people out of town, took over everything, gave white people reparations who had losses, gave them back their positions after the Reconstruction era, after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and slaves were freed. We're there. It is not as we have not come to the physical, where the government is like literally attacking us, but we are at the door. Everybody should be ready. You should have go bag ready. You should have food ready to stay in the house or be ready to move. You should have tents just in case you gotta go stay someplace outside to hide out. You should be, thinking, hey, what happens if militias come for us? Because militias in a lot of these places are already active. I hope y'all don't think just, a lot of these police officers are police officers. A lot of these hooded people who out of shape and don't look worth a quarter, they're not your typical law enforcement. They are militias who have been deputized as whatever this administration wants them to be in order to oversee certain segments of the population. So y'all should be ready for this. Like we've been talking about this for a long time, and all I can say is here. So I want to encourage y'all to do the best that you can. Don't feel bad if you cannot do certain stuff. Like it's things I want to do now I can't do because I ain't got no. I have some. I I have what I need. The Most High has made sure that I have what I need. I don't have as many people around me as I would like, but I think that's intentional. I have studied. I've studied what's going on the planet, and I have studied the Word. I don't have any fear about what's coming. I don't have any fear about the unknown. I don't even have a fear about running out or having somebody take, stuff from me. I just know the Most High is going to make a way for his chosen people. And so, keep doing what's right. Don't get all caught up in the emotion of, people not having food or, um, the things that are happening now. The Most High said these things were going to happen. Um, the love of people are waxing cold. It's here. uh, famine, death, destruction is here. It just hadn't reached us in a way like it has reached some other countries, but it's coming. Now, we're gonna be a collateral damage in a lot of areas because we don't have anything. But I do believe that the Most High is gonna look out for us, and I think some of those fiery darts that are coming our way gonna be, returned to the senders. And that's why I don't have any fear. But we do need to be prepared for being locked down. If the reptilians come out, we need to be ready. If the aliens come and say, hey, we get ready to run the government, you need to be ready. Stay in your house. Whatever's happening, you need to be ready. Um, we don't have any choice right now. This is not a time to play. I'm so tired of seeing our people laughing and joking and smoking and talking about all types of social issues. Um, you see how the media is doing everything they can to demonize black men. Black men now are the face of gambling in the NBA. What do that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with the price of cheese? Nothing. We don't care. We don't care. Uh, it's just so much stuff going on, y'all. And I don't even want to just keep talking about it, but we have to be ready. That stuff is not even important. What's important is your spirit, your soul is ready for whatever comes. If you have to leave here, you gonna stand on business of the Most High and be able to, you know, be 10 toes down for the word, for for this time, what we're supposed to do. We're going to love our brothers and sisters. We're going to be a light. We're going to walk in faith, not by sight. We're not going to be afraid of anything, even though we have, it's just like the um, Israelites when they were leaving Egypt. And we didn't know that the Most High had us covered. We just could not understand because we couldn't see. That same thing is going on right now. The universe is everything is working for us. All we got to do is just be quiet, be still, have faith. Don't be afraid. Listen to the Most High. Read your word daily so you can build up your spiritual discernment. You know who to look to and when to flee. You know how to eat the meat and spit out the bones because I'm a firm believer you can learn from anybody. You can learn from a rock. You can learn from a chicken. It's just some practical stuff that you can learn if you are open and obedient. And then there are some people that you don't need to listen to. They just wrong all the time. Some people you need to flee from. We got a lot of ops in our community. We need to have spiritual discernment because we need to figure out how we're going to free ourselves. And we cannot do that if we keep listening to all the people who are presented to us, who are meant to mislead us. We have a huge misleadership class of people amongst us, celebrities in music, entertainment, sports, social media influencers. You see the story about how the small hats were paying off the social media influencers to target us. Why everybody so concerned about us? This is how you have to know we the people. It just makes no sense. They ain't worried about nobody else. They cleaning out everybody else so that they can get to us. You have to know and understand there's a reason for that. So we must be careful on social media. We are being targeted. We are being listened to. We are being discussed And social media is now a weapon. They have basically admitted it. It is a tool of war. The military created it. So if you're using it and you thinking, oh, I'm gonna use it for good, baby, you ain't never gonna use it for good because it was created by the devil for nothing good. And we don't know enough about this thing to even fight it, to even use it in a way that's beneficial to us, even though we try. I'm a firm believer of, if you can't, if you didn't design the game, you can't play it. And so a time is coming where we need to get off of social media, and that's why I limit, my time on it. I'm on it, watching and monitoring, but I don't say much because we're at a point now where what we can say, you know, we can be punished for it, and a lot of us are going to be punished. I'm already punished. I'm just telling you, I'm punished. I suffer financially because of my willingness to speak out, just like a whole lot of other truth tellers who are speak as Israelite truth tellers. So many of us, we risk our lives sharing this information, doing research, talking about stuff. We don't have nobody to back us up. We don't have anybody supporting us. Now, we do have a few people supporting us, but we don't get the support like some of these other influencers who don't be talking about nothing at all. Nothing to help you. They're not telling you to prepare. They're talking about movie reviews and gender wars and all kind of stuff. Music, videos, entertainment. Nothing to help you make it through what's about to come. And so, we sacrifice, and our time is coming. There's a catalog. I'll just say that there's a catalog on everybody, but there's a catalog on people like me and, um, end of the world ministries or some of these other um, truth telling ministries and individuals who have risked their lives, put their lives on the line and their future livelihoods on the line to try to wake up people who refuse to wake up and want to be asleep. So, take this time to learn, but be mindful that we are being monitored. Be mindful that there are being traps set every single day. If we don't take this trap, or we don't take this bait, there's a bait here, there's a bait there. So, we just you got to be slow and methodical about how you're going to navigate what's coming. But we know if you don't have shelter, you don't have food, you don't have water, it's hard to do anything. So get to the store before November 1st. Get your water, get your food, get your staples. Have a way to prepare food if you got to cook on the grill, just in case there's a grid down, or if there is something else going on, like if there's civil unrest and they declare martial law, they commandeer stores. um, be prepared. Be prepared. Don't let nothing deter you from being prepared. Being prepared is not a bad thing. The Most High wants us to be prepared. Do not be a foolish bride. Go get what you need. You should be prepared to stay in the house, or be without for a couple of weeks. I say for at least 90 days. You should be working on having 90 days worth of stuff. What you gonna eat every day? You might not be able to eat but one meal per day. You might not be able to eat meat. You might just have to eat rice and some vegetables, some canned vegetables. um, you might need to can some stuff. If you do have some resources and you worried about your food perishing, can go buy some canning jars and tops and learn how to can. There are plenty of videos online teaching people how to can. You have to be proactive, and do not fall up with these people talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the store, yeah they should do blah blah blah. Don't even get into the tropes of I don't want to pay taxes for blah blah, this person laying up. Don't say anything. Keep your thoughts to yourself. And I'm afraid even your thoughts that are your own, that you think nobody knows about, these people can read our brains. So, we're living in a time, it's basically the Tower of Babel 2.0. Make sure you are just not feeding into all of this negativity, and just being mindful of what's going on all over the world. It's a setup, and there ain't nothing that we can do about it at all. So, I just wanted to. I'm coming up on an hour, so I'm getting ready to end this video. I just wanted to come and say something to y'all about, what's happening. And if you have any questions about things that you can do, you need some advice on where to start if you're a new viewer, or, if you want to share something for people who may get this video, please leave me a comment in the comment section, and I will make sure I monitor it. But don't y'all wait. Get your stuff before November the 1st, because you don't know if grocery stores are going to close down. They're going to refuse to serve black people. You don't know if you're going to be robbed, getting bust upside your head when you're trying to go to the store and get you a pack of pepper because you forgot to get it. Get what you need, your onions, your potatoes, celery, whatever you need. Get it and get in your house. Be safe, not foolish. Be wise, not foolish. And be safe, not sorry. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all. I might do another video later on this week. I don't know. But anyway, y'all got work to do. I got work to do. So I'm gone. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for just keeping me sane. All right. This is Marley K, and I'm out of here. Soon as I figure out how to end this video.